to Madam Sierra Dipper Stadium with a guy that everybody's heard about, but maybe hasn't really seen him, Joe Walker, the head of the strength and conditioning program. Lots of questions they ask you, and I tell people all the time, you're a bit of a savant. I can come up to you and I can ask you a player's name, and you can give me the exact weight. So so they can see this. I want to throw a few names out there to you. Kevin Brown.
Kevin Brown is 222 right now. He got actually up about 230 this summer, but we'll get his weight back.
Avery Peterson.
Avery Peterson is actually 198. He's actually a lot bigger than he looks. He's really strong. Excited to work this year with Avery.
And now,
a lot of potential.
And now I'm going to really throw one out there. John Vincent, the backup long snapper.
I knew he was going to stump me. John Vincent. I want to say Vincent is 234. I'm going to go. Vincent, how much you weigh? I was way off. 220.
220.
220. Okay. I thought I said 234.
Well, I threw that one out of left field, too. These guys, all the specialists are now yelling over here. All right. Well, I didn't think I could actually get you stumped on anybody because you're very, very good. You're up to date all the time. But
in my defense, they live during practice, so they don't do our weigh-ins on Tuesday, Thursdays. Okay. So in my defense, right there, we're good.
Now, another thing that I've told people before, and I get this from the assistant coaches, when they're actually recruiting a guy, they go to you and say, look at this guy, tell me what you can get him as a playing weight eventually down the road. That is true, right? You look at these guys, and you can give a pretty good guess to them about where you can get that.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate in that process. Coach Tubbs trusts me when it comes to the guys' body types, how big are their hips, what are their ankles like, how broad are their shoulders, are they concaved in, and they got nice posture back there, and that deals with a lot of injury as well. So those are definitely some things we look at. Belly, actually, how big is their glutes? That's a huge tall tale sign of how athletic the kid is and how much weight you can gain, a little weight on.
People in football, the 40-yard dash time is always a major factor, and we've talked about this before, and explain to them the difference between evaluation and training and where that 40-yard dash time comes from.
For us, 40s is top-end speed. For 40-yard, and people heard me probably talk before, either something really good happened to you or something really bad happened to you. Hopefully something really good happened to us. But football is mainly acceleration for us the first 5 to 10 yards because you're going to know whether you have to change direction or decelerate and accelerate again. So we don't focus too much on 40, and a really good marker of how good a 40 time is going to be is we really test our broad jump. Those are a really good correlation to a good broad jump and a good 40 time. So we really focus on that. But a lot of our training is all acceleration.
When you look at this team, I know you've got some guys that squat over 500 pounds, and that is a heck of a lot of weight. But who are some of the guys that are the 500-plus pound squatters on this team?
We've got two really good running backs, and Boone and Jose both definitely squat over 500. You're looking at Bond at our center, he squatted over 500. Pace has squatted over 500. Muhan's right there. Silverberry Muhan's right there. Cortez Broughton is a 500-pound squatter as a defensive tackle. Burton is right there as a defensive tackle. Chad West is right there. Anger's right there. They do a very good job. Biggest for us is not so much the 500 pounds. It's going to be the depth, being able to bend for those guys, and being strong in the hole and be able to accelerate out of that hole is going to be what's going to carry over, not so much the weight, but being explosive with the weight as well.
Now the vertical jump is another big thing for you, and because that's part of the explosion package that you're trying to evaluate. And 42 inches, I think, Mike Boone?
Boone has had a great offseason. Last year he had a 40-inch vertical, and you think to yourself, oh man, how am I going to improve on a 40-inch vertical? How's he going to improve? And Boone is so on point with his training, and he trains so hard and comes in with such a purpose. He had a 42-inch vertical. His broad jump was 10.5. Last year it was a 10.11 this year. So I don't think we're going to have no sophomore slump with Mike Boone. He is a special individual, and he's fun to train.
One of the other things that's, there's a lot of interesting conversations I had with you over the last year or so, and one of the other ones was that when you look at this incoming class, you will look at them and try to see who is physically ready to already play. Mike Boone was your guy last year. You felt like he was already physically ready to go. This year, I don't know who, there was somebody.
Well, we kind of cheated. Jenkinson came in early.
Yes,
Jenkinson came in early, and there's another one who's a 500-pound squatter. Jenkinson is a ridiculously strong freshman, comes in, and it's nothing I did. He's another determined, great athlete who's going to be a great player for us, leadership and athletic ability. The guys that came in this summer, You know, we're pretty experienced. You're gonna have to be pretty special to come in and play right away. Sam Jenkins and Chidi came in earlier.
Did Copeland surprise you?
You know, no, he really didn't. He has a very good base strength. He's got good flexibility, good mobility. And the first time I saw him, I was very fortunate. I played the end, and first time I saw him, he's a good player now. And you know who else is? Caleb Ashford's a good player. I think he kind of gets lost because Copeland's such a good player.
Yeah.
Caleb Ashford's going to be a really good player because he's actually just every bit as strong as Copeland is. So.
It's funny you say that because during the summer I talked to Alex Pace. And I said, how are those defensive linemen? And he mentioned Caleb Ashford.
Yes.
He felt like at that point in time he was even a little bit ahead of Copeland. But now, is there any guy out here or guys out here that really surprised you over the course of their career just by how big and how strong that they've exceeded your expectations?
Our receiving corps, without a doubt, when the scouts asked me, all of them squatted over 365 for 5 reps, and I actually cut them off there because I'd rather them catch touchdown passes than squat 405 and put them in a risk, and they're all below parallel. They're not your average prima donna receivers. They get after it way early, and it's really fun to coach an athletic crew like that.
Well, we'll give one final question. I'm going to give you a double or nothing on one more name, and we'll see if you'll be able to get. And I'm not going to go as obscure as I did with Vincent, so I'm going to take a backup lineman, John Kurtz.
John Kurtz, he actually got to 294 this summer. He's sitting around 288 right now, and we'll get back up to there. He's going through our off-season workouts again for guys who aren't playing. He's going to be a good player for us. He's taking a little bit longer to develop. He's increased a ton since he's been here. I like Kurtz. He's done a really good job. Great attitude, great work ethic.
We got to have him back. He's fun to talk to. Just he knows so much about the program. So I'm going to make you promise me that we'll get around to
yes,
golfing at
we'll
Terrace Park.
Definitely get around to golf.
He doesn't get cheated on his swings either. Let me tell you. Joe Walker does a great job here. Thanks for being on Bearcatcher.
Thank you. Anytime.